Cricket fans in Sri Lanka, in the Caribbean and all over the world. This is At the Crease with West Indies international cricketer Kieran Powell. Sri Lanka are in a dominant position in the first test match against West Indies played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. At the close of play, Windies were reeling at 52 runs for the loss of 6 wickets, needing another 296 runs to register their first test win in the Sri Lankan soils. As usual, we've got 3 special guests on our show today. I've got West Indies international cricketer Kieran Powell on our show, Vidana Prasad Karunaratne from Newsfirst team, and we have a special guest, Krishano Rajalinga, who is going to talk to our Tamil viewers about the West Indies versus Sri Lanka cricket series. Vidana, Lakunu Desia Anu Ayak Raskaragan Avasai Sri Bate in the Kodev Kandayamata, O Sisipak Rati at the Tarangi Vergaragan.
කියන්න තමයි මොකද අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනුනේ මුලින්ම වර්ෂාවෙන් බහදාවක් නොවේවා කියලා හිත දිනේදීත් අද දිනේදීත් තරම් හොඳ කාලගුණික තත්ත්වයක් නොවේ තිබුණේ කොහොම නමුත් එය යම්කිසි දුරකට යහපත් වෙච්ච නිසා තමයි තරඟය පවත්වන්නට හැකියාවක් ලැබුණේ කොහොම නමුත් මේ ක්‍රීඩා පිටිය තුල රැඳී සිටින ක්‍රීඩකයන් දෙදෙනා ඔවුන්ට ලැබී තිබුණු පීඩනය මදක් නිරවුල් කරගන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ ක්‍රීඩා පිටිය තුල ශ්‍රී ලංකා පන්දු යවන්නන් එල්ල කළ පීඩනය යම් කිසි දුරකට දරාගෙන ක්‍රීඩා පිටියේ ලකුණු ප්‍රමාණයක් ලකුණු පුරට එකතු කරගන්නට සමත් වීමත් එක්ක ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායමට අද දිනේදී තහවුරු කරගන්න තිබුණු ජයග්‍රහණයක් හෙට දිනේ දක්වා කල් දමා ගන්නට සිදු වෙනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම අයහපත් ආලෝක තත්ත්වයක් මේ සඳහා බලපෑවා බොහෝ දුරට ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායමේ පන්දු යවන්නන් තරඟයේ නියමිත වේලාවට ආරම්භ කරන්න අවස්ථාවක් ලැබිලා ක්‍රීඩා පිටිය තුළ තමන්ගේ කාර්ය හරියාකාරව ඉෂ්ට කළොත් දැඩි පීඩනයක් යොමු කළොත් බොහෝ දුරට හෙට දිවා භෝජනයට පෙර මේ තරඟයේ ප්‍රතිඵලයක් අපිට ලබා ගන්නට පුළුවන් වේවි.
That is the expectation from all the fans from Sri Lanka as well, not from the West Indies side, I guess. Krishano, மேற்கிந்திய தீவுகள் மற்றும் இலங்கை அணிக்கு இடையிலான போட்டியில் மேற்கிந்திய தீவுகள் அணி 296 ஓட்டங்கள் பெற வேண்டிய நிலையில் 5ஆம் நாள் ஆட்டம் இடம்பெற இருக்கின்றது. அதாவது உங்களுடைய கருத்து?
மார்ட்டின், காலி சர்வதேச மைதானத்தை பொறுத்தவரை உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் 4ஆம் 5ஆம் நாட்களில் சுழல் பந்து வீச்சுக்கு பந்து வீச்சாளர்களுக்கு மிக சாதகமாக செயல்படக்கூடிய ஒரு ஆடுகளம். கடந்த கால வரலாறு அதனைத்தான் உணர்த்தி இருக்கின்றது. என்றாலும் இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய காலநிலை இன்றும் கூட மழை பெய்திருந்தது. சுமார் 20 ஓவர்கள் வரை தாமதிக்கப்பட்டன. அதே போன்று நாளையும் இடம்பெறுமானால் இலங்கையின் வெற்றி ஒருவேளை கேள்விக்குறியாகலாம், அல்லது காலை வேளையில் ஆட்டம் ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்டு 10 மணியிலிருந்து 12 மணி வரை, அதாவது மதிய போசன இடைவேளை வரை ஆட்டம் தொடர்ச்சியாக நீளுமானால் நிச்சயமாக இலங்கை அணியால் வெற்றியை சுவீகரிக்க முடியும். ஏனென்றால் பந்து வீச்சை பொறுத்தவரை இலங்கை வீரர்கள் சிறப்பாக செயற்படுகிறார்கள். பிரவீன் ஜாவேக்டோமர், ரமேஷ் மெண்டிஸ் போன்றோர் சிறந்த பந்து வீச்சு பெற்றிருக்கிறார்கள். எனவே அவர்களால் நிச்சயம் இலங்கைக்கு வெற்றியை ஈட்டிக் கொடுக்க முடியும்.
மேற்கிந்திய தீவுகள் அணி 1993ஆம் ஆண்டிலிருந்து இலங்கைக்கு விஜயம் செய்கின்றது டெஸ்ட் போட்டிகளுக்காக. இன்னும் ஒரு விக்டரி கூட ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண முடியவில்லை இதுவரைக்கும்.
அந்த வரலாறு நிச்சயமாக இந்த முறை மாறுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது. தற்போதைய இலங்கை அணி மிக சிறப்பாக துடுப்படுத்தாடுகின்றது. சகல துறைகளிலும் மேம்பட்டுள்ளது. அதாவது கடந்த காலத்தில் 2015-2016ஆம் ஆண்டுக்கு பிறகு கடந்த 20-20 உலக கிண்ண தொடரில் தான் இலங்கை அணி மீண்டெழுந்தது என்று கூறலாம். அந்த தொடரில் இலங்கை அணி தகுதிகான் சுற்றில் விளையாடி இருந்தாலும் அதன் பிறகு சகல அணிகளுக்கும் சவால் விடுத்து விளையாடி தொடரிலிருந்து வெளியேறியது. தற்போது அந்த அணியின் திறமை மேம்பட்டுள்ளது என்றே கூற வேண்டும். அந்த வகையில் இலங்கை அணி இந்த தொடருடன் தனது டெஸ்ட் வரலாற்றையும் மாற்றிக்கொண்டு முன்னோக்கி பயணிப்பதற்கான சந்தர்ப்பம் அதிகமாக இருக்கிறது.
Focusing my attention to our special guest, Kieran Powell, the West Indies international cricketer. Kieran, no doubt about Sri Lanka's dominance in Day 3's play. However, the main question that was going on everyone's mind was how will the weather pan out in Day 4's play?
Yes, Martin. Ayubowan, Vanakkam. Good evening to all our viewers. Chutak singla puluang mama hitanne hetta West Indies will try to extend the play as long as possible. Obviously, they're going to pray for the weather that's been around to stay around and come in even stronger tomorrow. I'm not sure how much that can save the West Indies. You know, they've put themselves in a very bad position today, losing 6 wickets for only 50 runs. Sri Lanka, led by Dimuth Karunaratne again, had a brilliant day in the field. Dimuth, another 80-odd to go with his 140 in the first innings. He's looked a completely different batsman to everyone else that's played in this game today. So Sri Lanka will be sleeping very comfortably tonight, with the only worrying being the weather for tomorrow.
We could have had a different conversation, had those 15 overs, the partnership between Nkrumah Bonner and Joshua De Silva. If Sri Lanka had broken through during that particular partnership, we would be talking that Sri Lanka had registered a win today.
And at one point, I think that everyone thought that Sri Lanka would have registered a win today. But Nkrumah Bonner batted beautifully, Joshua De Silva as well batted beautifully. One thing I have realized throughout this test match is that every single time there's rain around, the pitch becomes easier for batting. Yesterday, the West Indies batted Jason Holder, Kyle Mayers as well. When they batted, there was rain about, the pitch played a lot better. Sri Lanka came out to bat today after the last two sessions yesterday were rained out, and the Sri Lankan batters have a very easy time batting. The end of the day's play, there was rained about again, and they batted beautifully. So the West Indies will hope that if the rain doesn't save them by actually falling, that there's rain in the atmosphere, which allows for the pitch to be a lot more conducive for batting, and it doesn't spin as much. Having said that, the West Indian batters got out to straight balls today, not to the ones that turn. So there's a lot on offer for the Sri Lankan bowlers. They'll be very happy there.
අපි ඊයේ දිනේ කතා කරා වින්දන අතරම රමේෂ් මෙන්ඩිස් ඇවිල්ලා දෙවනි දිනේදී හොඳට පන්දු යවුවා. ඊයේ ඇවිල්ලා තරම් දුරට හොඳට පන්දු යවුවේ නැහැ. හැබැයි අද වෙනකොට විකට් 4ක් හරි 3ක් හරි අරන් ඉවරයි රමේෂ් මෙන්ඩිස්.
ඔව් කඩළු 4ක් අරගෙන ඉවරයි. මාටින් අර මම ඊයේ කිව්ව කාරණාව තමයි. දැන් මේ වැස්ස ලැබෙනවත් එක්කම තනතිරුව කිසියම් විදිහකට සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ආවරණය වෙනවා. මේ නිසා අර පහුගිය දින කිහිපේ ලැබිච්ච දැඩි අවුරශ්මියත් එක්ක තිබුණු තද බව විකට් එකේ තියෙන මේ තද බව තරමක් දුරට ලිහිල් වෙච්ච ආකාරයක් අපි දැක්කා. ඊයේ දිනේදීත් විශේෂයෙන්ම ඒ තත්ත්වය අපි දැක්කා. තරමක දුහුවිලි සහිත ස්වභාවයක් තනතිරුවේ ඇතැම් ස්ථානවලට පන්දුව වැටුනහම දක්නට ලැබුණා. ඉතින් රමේෂ් මෙන්ඩිස් තමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අනෙක් පන්දුවන් දෙදෙනාට සාපේක්ෂව පන්දුව විවිධාකාරයෙන් එහෙම නැත්නම් තරමක දැඩි දෝලනයකට යොමු කරන්නේ. අනෙක් පන්දුවන් නම් දෙදෙනාම කරන්නේ තරමක් පිටිකරුවාට වේගෙන් පන්දුව එල්ල කරන්නට ගන්න උත්සාහය. නමුත් අපි දැක්කා රමේෂ් විවිධ අවස්ථාවන් වලදී විවිධ ස්ථානවලට පන්දුව යොමු කරමින් කඩුල්ලක් තවා ගන්නට ගන්න උත්සාහයන්. ඉතින් මේ හරහා තමයි අද දවසේදීත් අපි දකින්නේ අර තනතිරුවේ කිසියම් විදිහකට සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම වහලා තිබිලා ඊට පස්සේ අවුවට නිරාවරණය වුණාම දක්නට ලැබෙන දඟ කැවීමේ ස්වභාවය සහ සමස්තයක් හැටියට කොදෙව් පිටිකරුවන් දෙවනි ඉනිමේදීත් යලිත් වතාවක් පිටිකරණයේ පැත්තෙන් දුර්වල වීම. මේ තත්ත්වයන් දෙක තමයි මාටින් අපි දකින්නේ ක්‍රීඩා පිටිය තුළ. අපිට කයිරන්ගෙන් දැනගන්නට පුළුවන් නම් එයාගේ ටීම් එකේ টොප් ඕඩර් එක ඇයි මේ විදිහට ඉක්මනට ක්‍රීඩා පිටියෙන් ඉවත් වුනේ?
Absolutely. Like, I'm about to come to that question, Vandana, but before that, Dimuth Karunaratne has played a different type of a batting, different type of role in this particular match, Kieran, and he was extremely strong on his legs, on pads, and West Indies bowlers basically bowled to the requirement of Dimuth Karunaratne. It looked like he scored 81 runs, 83 runs. Your thoughts on how Dimuth Karunaratne's form at this point of time?
It's not just Dimuth's form, but it's the way he played, as you said. He made the bowlers bowl to him. As I stressed on the first innings, he likes to hit the ball square of the wicket on the offside and on the leg side. Dimuth benefited from spending so much time at the crease in the first innings. He's the batsman that would have spent the most time throughout the game at the wicket. If you look at how Dimuth batted in the second innings, the strike rate at which he batted as well is very important for Sri Lanka because they needed to get the runs as quickly as possible to put the West Indies back in and put them under pressure. And he, being the captain, but also being the one that spent the most time in the first innings, maximised from having put in that hard graft in the first innings, which allowed him to go and express himself and play freely. He sort of earned the right to play like that today.
And we should not be forgetting about Dimuth Karunaratne's dominance in the leg side. Back in the days, I used to see Mohammad Azharuddin, who used to, flick the ball that would turn outside the off stump. And in the recent past, there are good players who can play good flick shots, whatever the balls that would come onto the leg side. But we have not seen anyone play like the way that Dimuth Karunaratne has been playing.
And when you look at it as well, people might think that he's playing the ball through the leg side against what is traditionally the turn away from the bat. But he's hitting the ball's turning into his bat, the positions he's getting into. So he's not creating much chances for the West Indies to get him out. When he's sweeping, the ball's turning into his bat. When he's flicking, he's getting right to the ball. So there's not much chance of him getting out. So he's covered the line, he's covered the turn. And now he's at the mercy, the bowler's at the mercy of Dimuth actually. where he wants to place the ball in the field.
Is there any agreement between the West Indies cricket team and Dimuth Karunaratne? You drop catches of him, and even if he's LBW, even if the umpire is not giving him out, you don't take the reviews?
Well, I think Dimuth, obviously, knowing that he toured the Caribbean earlier this year and he didn't get much runs, he would have that in the back of his mind. He knows that he's in Sri Lanka now, his home turf. He's done well against Bangladesh 7 months ago, but he would have to make up for the form that he had in the Caribbean, and he would want as much runs as possible. Going into the match, he said he wanted to score 300 runs. Well, he's almost done that in the entire match. So he wasn't far off from what he said. So hopefully next match he doesn't say that he wants to score 400 or 500 runs, because the West Indies will be in a lot of problems.
And he'll end up scoring another 300 runs.
For Sri Lanka's sake, they'd be happy. Obviously, the more runs you score up top, that sets the game up. It makes it easier for the batters coming in the middle. You've already got someone established at the crease, and the other batters can bat around him. For the West Indians' sake, they would hope that they could get rid of Dimuth very early. They created a chance in the first innings with him on 14. Now he's got 200 plus runs in the match, so that would be a big miss to look back at the overall context of the game.
I had another question as well that I want to direct to you, Kieran. Now, you were a part of the West Indies cricket team that played against South Africa a few months ago, and you have played a lot of cricket against the Sri Lankans as well. From the players' perspective, this particular lineup, you've got Dimuth Karunaratne, Pathum Nissanka, Angelo Matthews, Dinesh Chandimal, Dhananjay De Silva. Who do you think is the biggest threat from the West Indies standpoint?
I think you'll definitely be pinpointing Dimuth, obviously because he's the captain. You always want to target the leader of the opposition team. He's one of the senior batters as well. Angelo Matthews, as I said in the first innings, he didn't get any runs, but you don't get to 91 test matches. You don't get that amount of experience by not being a good player. He came out today, he showed his quality, he showed his class, he showed that given any situation, he can come and help put Sri Lanka in positions to win test matches. Came, scored quickly enough that Sri Lanka could declare and have enough time to bowl at the West Indies for an extended period this evening. Dinesh Chandimal as well, another former captain of Sri Lanka, someone that you can't take lightly in any situation because he's done it time and time again for the country, just like Angelo Matthews. So I think those three guys are the three key wickets for the Sri Lankan team.
What do you think about Pathum Nissanka's form and Pathum Nissanka as a talent?
Definitely an exciting talent. You don't have those kinds of numbers coming into Test cricket and not be a very special talent, special young player. Obviously asked to bat out of position, got a half century in the first innings. As I said, carried on from his form against the West Indies in the Caribbean where he made his Test debut. So he'd be someone that Sri Lanka will continue to groom. Obviously he's playing all three formats as well, so they'll manage his workload, but he's someone that looks bright for the future of Sri Lankan cricket.
Angelo Matthews ගැන ඇත්තටම මොනවද හිතන්නේ? ඇත්තටම ඌ ඇවිල්ලා අන්තිමට ක්‍රීඩා කරේ බංග්ලාදේශයට එරෙහිව ටෙස්ට් තරඟාවලිය මාස 7කට විතර කලින්.
ඔව් ඊට පස්සේ ඔහු පෞද්ගලික කාරණාවක් හේතුවෙන් මාටින් අපි දන්නවා ක්‍රීඩා පිටින් තරමක් දුරට ඈත් වෙලා හිටියා. නමුත් ඕනම වෙලාවක ලකුණු අතරට එන්නට පුළුවන් හැකියාවක් තියෙන ප්‍රතිකරුවෙක් හැටියට තමයි අපි ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් දකින්නේ. මීට පෙර අපිට මතකයි ඔහුව කෙසේ විදියකට කණ්ඩායමෙන් ඉවත් වෙලා ඉන්න කාල වකවානුවක නැවත වතාවක් ක්‍රීඩා පිටියට ඇවිල්ලා නවසීලන්තයට එරෙහිව අනගී නිමක් ක්‍රීඩා කළා. ඒ අවස්ථාවන් අපිට ඉතාමත් මොහොතින් මතකයි. මගේ විශ්වාසයට අනුව ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් කියන්නේ ඕනම වෙලාවක ඕනම මොහොතක ලකුණු අතරට එන්න පුළුවන් තුනිරයව දක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් හැටියට ක්‍රීඩා කළා ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායම තුල අධ්‍යක්ීම් බහුලතම ක්‍රීඩකයින් අතර ඉහළින්ම ඉන්න ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්.
Kieran, another point that I wanted to make is when West Indies came to bat, they were 6 for 18 at one point. At that point of view, you would have also believed that this match is going to be over within the next few hours. What was so special about the manner in which Nkrumah Bonner and Joshua De Silva played their innings during the latter part of the day's play today?
I think what they realized is that the ball wasn't spinning as much as the first innings. So if you look at the dismissals, everyone was playing inside the line of the ball, the right-handers, and getting beaten on the outside, getting bowled. The left-handers were playing for turn. Again, Kyle Mayers coming back, thinking that the ball's going to turn, just hit, slid on, trapped plumb in front. So Nkrumah Bonner and Joshua De Silva realized that the ball's not spinning, covered their stumps well, and hit the ball this way instead of looking to go against the ball, forcing the Sri Lankan bowlers to actually bring the ball straighter, because the two spinners open the ball with the new ball, and it's not going to spin as much when it hits the shine. It will just slide onto the bat.
And Shea Hoop, Roston Chase, Kyle Myers and Jason Holder, all of them got out to straighter deliveries. And you exactly told this is how they should not play the spin balls when we spoke about it a couple of days back.
Exactly. If you look at the first innings, the Sri Lankans, even though the ball was spinning, bouncing past the bat, they didn't get many wickets with those deliveries. It was always going to be the one that was going to keep straight on and threaten the stumps, threaten your pads, that will get wickets for the Sri Lankan bowlers. Today, it happened a lot quicker than the West Indies would have expected, than the Sri Lankans would have expected. But that's their plan going into the match, and they stuck to their plan and they got quick rewards today.
What should be the plan actually for tomorrow? The match is going to be over. Sri Lanka have almost sealed the match today. And it just, a matter of 20 to 25 overs, like Vindana said at the start of the show, that, 20 to 25 overs, just before the lunch, match will be over.
Well, I think...
Let's talk about from a neutral perspective. Let's get rid of all being a West Indian and from Antigua and all of those things.
I think when you look at the match, the morning session has actually been good for batting for the past 3 days. So we take that into context, and you have two batters in still. Even though it's 6 wickets down, you've got 2 batters in, and 2 batters that would have spent a considerable amount of time at the crease today. So the West Indies' aim for tomorrow will be to stretch the match as long as possible. Sri Lanka's aim will be try and get a quick breakthrough, open up one end, and get the match over as quickly as possible. West Indies will be hoping for some rain to aid them in batting out as long as they possibly can tomorrow, and Sri Lanka will be hoping for beautiful sunshine and bright blue skies and a cracking, dusty pitch to allow them to get those 4 wickets.
Now, I've just played the clip of the session to highlights. This is how Dimuth Karunaratne and Angelo Matthews constructed their innings. What type of learnings that Nkrumah Bonner and Joshua De Silva could take, and we've got Rakeem Cornwall yet to bat as well. So those 3 batters, the performance of those 3 batters will be crucial in terms of extending or West Indies pushing this match towards a draw. What learnings that those 3 batters could take from the manner in which that these 2 players have played?
Well, if you look at where they both scored their runs, Angelo Matthews is generally a free-flowing cricketer. But what you have to realize is that between these 2 batters, you've got 150 test matches and over 10,000 runs, over 20 test centuries. So there's a lot of experience there. You see even the less experienced Sri Lankan players struggle to adapt to this situation, and that's where these 2 players really came to the fore for Sri Lanka using their experience. Now, Nkrumah Bonner and Joshua De Silva aren't as experienced, so they'd have to take in what these 2 guys did to be successful. They won't be able to play shots like that, the big slug sweeps, but to be able to survive, manipulate the ball, bat their defense, rotate the strike, and keep scoring as much as possible, and just taking it session by session, as these 2 guys did, is something that they could take solace in and take forward tomorrow.
බෝලි දැම්මොත් අදන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. මොනවද හිතන්නේ? තරංගය වින්දර ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් දිමුත් කරුණාරත්න ඉතාම හොඳට ක්‍රීඩා කරා අද දිනේදී. ඉන්ක්‍රමා බෝනර් සහ ජොෂුවා ඩි සිල්වා එට පිවිසෙනවා පිටියට උදේට. ඇත්තට මොන වගේ අප්‍රෝච් එකක්ද ඒගොල්ලෝ ෆලෝ කරන්න ඕනේ? ඒකට දිනේ ඩ්‍රා කරගන්න at least.
මං හිතන්නේ ඔවුන්ට තියෙන ප්‍රධානතම අවිය බවට පත්වන්නේ වැහි දෙවියන් පමණයි. වර්ෂාවක් ඇදහැළුනොත් හෙට දිනේදී තරඟය පවත්වන්න.
You understood what exactly Vindana said?
He's basically saying that there's no chance that the West Indies will survive tomorrow.
Only the rain gods would help you.
I don't even think that the rain gods will.
එහෙම වුණොත් පමණයි මම හිතන්නේ කොදෙව් කණ්ඩායමට යම්කිසි විදිහකට මේ තරගයේ කෙරෙහි යම්කිසි බලාපොරොත්තුවක් එහෙම නැත්නම් ශ්‍රී ලංකා ජයග්‍රහණය ප්‍රමාද කරන්නට අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙන්නේ දැනට තියෙන තත්ත්වය අනුව. නමුත් ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩා පිටියක් තුළ ඕනම දෙයක් වෙන්නට පුළුවන්. හෙට දිනේදී මේ ක්‍රීඩකයන් දෙදෙනාට පුළුවන් වුණොත් ලොකු ඉනිං වලට යන්න. සමහර විට අපිට මතකයි බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් චාල්ස් ලාරා ඉතාමත්ම අන්නගීනීමක් ක්‍රීඩා කළා ලකුණු 365ක් ඔහු පහු කරගෙන යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ පළමු පෙළ තරඟවලදී ඔහු ලකුණු 400 ලකුණු 500ක් ලබා ගත්තා. ඉතින් මේ වගේ ඉනිමක් ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න පුළුවන් කොදෙව් ක්‍රීඩකෙක් දෙන්නෙක් ක්‍රීඩා පිටිය තුල ඉන්නවා. අනාවැකි කියන්නට අමාරුයි. ක්‍රිකට් කියන්නේ අවිනිශ්චිත ක්‍රීඩාවක්. නමුත් බොහෝ දුරට මේ තනතිරුව තුල ශ්‍රී ලංකා දඟපන්දු යවන්නන්ට එරෙහිව මේ තත්ත්වය නිර්මාණය කරන්නට කොදෙව් පිටිකරුවන්ට හැකියාවක් අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙයි කියලා විශ්වාස කරන්නට අපිට අමාරුයි. දැනටමත් තනතිරුව තුල දකින්න තත්ත්වය සහ අපිට තියෙන අතීත අත්දැකීම් ශ්‍රී ලංකා දඟපන්දු යවන්නන් මේ තනතිරුව තුල ලෙහෙසියෙන් ජයග්‍රහණයක් අතහැරලා නැහැ. ඉතින් ප්‍රවීන් ජයවික්‍රම, රමේෂ් මෙන්ඩිස්, ඒ වගේම අපේ අනිත් දඟපන්දු යවන්න ලසිත් ඇඹුල්දෙනිය මේ තිදෙනාගේ පීඩනයෙන් හෙට දිනේදී මම විශ්වාස කරනවා කොදෙව් පිටිකරුවන්ට ගැලවීමක් ලැබෙන එකක් නැහැ. අද දිනේදීත් ඔවුන්ගේ දෙවන ඉනිමේ අවසන් කඩුල්ල ඉතාමත් ඉක්මනින් ශ්‍රී ලංකා පන්දු යවන්න ලබා ගන්නවා. හෙට දිනේත් අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා මේ තියෙන කාලගුණික තත්ත්වයක් එක්ක අද රාත්‍රියේම තනතිරුව වහලා තියෙන්නේ. හෙට දිනේදී අවුව වැටෙන්න ගත්තම මේ තනතිරුව තරමක් දුරට තිබුණට වඩා ලිහිල් තත්වයකට බුරුල් තත්වයකට එනවා. එහෙම වුණොත් මේ තත්වය තරමක් දුරට කොදෙව් කණ්ඩායමට අපහසු වේවි. මේ ලකුණු 52ක් තුල කඩලු 6ක් වගේ සංඛ්‍යාවක් වෙන්න වැටලා තිබෙන අවස්ථාවක.
கிரிக்கெட் விளையாட்டில் எதிர்வு கூறுவது மிகவும் கடினமான விடயம் ஒன்று. விந்தன இப்போது தெரிவித்தார்.
கூறியது போன்று நான் ஒரு விடயத்தை ஞாபகப்படுத்தலாம் என நினைக்கிறேன். அதாவது இது வந்து வேறொரு போட்டி. ஆஸ்திரேலியா மற்றும் பங்களாதேஷ் அணிகளுக்கு இடையில் 2006ஆம் ஆண்டு டாக்காவில் நடைபெற்ற போட்டி. அந்த போட்டியில் நைட் வாட்ச்மேனாக ஜேசன் கிளப்ஸி வருவார். அவர் வந்து வாரது அந்த போகக்கூடிய விக்கெட்டுகளை தடுத்துட்டு அடுத்த நாள் வர்றதுக்காக. ஆனால் அவர் டபுள் செஞ்சுரி அடிப்பார், 210 ஓட்டங்கள் அடிப்பார். இப்போ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வித்தியாசமான ஒரு இது கிரிக்கெட்டில் வந்து நாங்கள் எதுவுமே சொல்ல முடியாது. உதாரணமாக பார்த்தோம்னா இந்த ஆஸ்திரேலியா மற்றும் தென்னாப்பிரிக்கா அணிகளுக்கு இடையிலான ஒரு நாள் போட்டியில் 434 ஓட்டங்களை தென்னாப்பிரிக்கா முதல்ல பெற்றிருக்கும். அப்போ அதுக்கு பிறகு வந்து ஆஸ்திரேலியா வந்து 438 ஓட்டங்களை எடுத்து அந்த ரெக்கார்டை முறியடிச்சிருப்பாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி நாங்கள் எதிர்பார்க்காத ஆச்சரியத்துக்குரிய வியப்புக்குரிய விடயங்கள் நடக்கலாம். கிரிக்கெட்டுங்கிறது அப்படிதான். அது ஆனால் தற்போதைய நிலைமையில் இலங்கைக்கு வந்து ஆடுகளம் சாதகமாக இருக்குது. இலங்கை வீரர்கள் சிறப்பாக செயற்படுறாங்க. பந்து வீச்சுக்கு சாதகமாக இருக்குது. இந்த காலநிலை வந்து இலங்கைக்கு ஒத்து கொடுக்குமா இருந்தால் இலங்கைக்கு வெற்றி பெறுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பு அதிகமாக இருக்குது. இருந்தாலும் இந்த 2 வீரர்களை நாங்கள் குறைத்து மதிப்பிடக்கூடாது. நிச்சயமாக விந்தனை குறிப்பிட்டது போல் பிரையன் லாரா வந்து டெஸ்ட் போட்டியில் வந்து ஒரு தரத்தில் 376 ஓட்டங்களை குவிச்சிட்டு 2வது தடவை 6 மாதங்கள் கழித்து 400 ஓட்டங்களை குவிச்சவர் இல்லையா. அவரோட ரெக்கார்டு வந்து 10 வருஷமாக இருக்கிற நேரம் நார்மலாக இருந்துட்டு திரும்ப அவரோட ரெக்கார்டு உடைஞ்சி 6 மாதத்தில் அந்த ரெக்கார்டை திரும்ப பிரேக் பண்ணுறாரு அவர். அப்போ அப்படி பிளேயர்ஸை கொண்ட ஒரு நாடு தான் மேற்கிந்திய தீவுகள். சகல தீவு கூட்டங்கள்லேருந்தும் சிறந்த வீரர்கள் தெரிவு செய்யப்பட்ட ஒரு அணி உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு. அப்படி இருக்கிற நேரத்தில் நாங்கள் முற்றுமுழுதாக சொல்ல முடியாது மேற்கிந்திய தீவுகள் உடனே தோல்வி அடைஞ்சிடும் சொல்லி. அவங்க நிச்சயமாக ஒரு சிறந்த ஒரு சவாலை விடுத்து போட்டியில் நிலைச்சிருப்பாங்க. அதே நேரம் இந்த இலங்கையோட இப்போ இலங்கை வீரர்கள் வந்து சிறப்பாக செயற்படுறதுனால நாங்கள் அளவுக்கு அதிகமாக எதிர்பார்க்குறோம். ஒரு நம்பிக்கை இருக்குது இலங்கையால் வெற்றி பெற முடியும்னு. நிச்சயமாக அதுதான் முடிவுன்னு இல்லை, அந்த முடிவு மாறுவதற்கான வாய்ப்பும் இருக்குது. அதுதான் கிரிக்கெட். அதனால தான் நம்ம எல்லாரும் கிரிக்கெட்டை இவ்வளோ ரசித்து பார்க்குறோம்.
கண்டிப்பாக. Kieran, we are coming to the end of this show. How should West Indies batsmen in the morning hours approach the game? And obviously Sri Lanka are sleeping very happily tonight.
They should approach it and pray that the rain gods put rain until next week Tuesday. Then we know that the West Indies will be safe. Barring that, just play for the ball, the straight ball. If it spins past you, then so be it. Good ball.
That's all what Kieran Powell had to say about what should West Indies batsmen should be looking at tomorrow. Rain gods may help them. That's all we've got at the crease with Kieran Powell on today's show. We've got an exciting day's play. I believe that the match will be over by lunch tomorrow. Sri Lanka winning. Thank you very much for all of you guys to tuning in on our show today. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from all of us here.